Hi, this is Wesley, and I would like to welcome you to the Underground Geek Shack. Today I have with me my good friend Chris.
What up, guys? I'm Chris, and Wesley has taken a recommendation of mine, which I thought was incredibly great, and I was very surprised when he actually took it, and he said he loved it.
So, today, you're right. So today we are going to be talking about the movie Belle, which is 2 hours long. Surprisingly, it's 2 hours long.
Right? When I first watched it at school, I just left for like 3 hours. Like, where have you been for 3 hours? Like, I was in my dorm room watching a new movie. What movie? You guys wouldn't know this movie.
Yeah, because it actually came out this year in 2022. I guess I have another movie I still got to finish too. I got to find it. It's called Sing a Little Bit of Harmony. Keep wanting to say humanity. It's not humanity, it's harmony.
Humanity and harmony. I guess we'll start with you, Wesley. Your favorite moment, like,
I think
there was a lot, though.
There was a lot that goes on in this film. And I think my favorite moment would have to be, like, it's when Belle... Okay, one, spoiler warning.
Yeah.
We were immediately talking about our favorite moment. You guys are probably going to want to click off. But for those of you who guys are going to stay, my favorite moment was when Belle, what was it? It's like unveil.
But how could you take my favorite moment?
No. But it's like when everyone's being like,
oh my god. Yeah.
You know, like when she's singing and everyone's like, just keep going.
Right. And surprising how supportive they were.
Mm-hmm. I think that was my favorite moment.
Hold on, I got two. It was either the twins going like, she got on the band like giggling, or Kamashi when he was doing his whole thing. He got so blushed red. He's like, oh my god, no one's confessed.
That was a funny moment.
Yes, I think that would be the funniest moments.
Oh yeah.
Or there's a lot of good
what was the second one? Because you said there was two.
The one you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
When she got unveiled, there was that one. I also love when the choir members were like, then we had to reveal to her that we know that she's Belle.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that was good.
Because like when that part came about, I was like, wait a minute, they knew. like the first go around, I was like, wait a minute, they knew. I was like, these are the best choir members I've ever seen.
They're dang detectives over here. Is like, hold on, you got this one old lady who doesn't seem like to be into technology, like. Oh my god, she's more connected to technology than I am.
I know. I'm just like, because all of them were on their phone. I'm like, wait a minute. All of y'all just conversating with one another. They're like, we got to go help her. I was like, what are you old people doing?
Okay, so we're going to start off with...
We're going to go back to the beginning.
All right, we need to go back.
Yeah.
Are we starting with the song or are we starting with the backstory?
I feel like, to give some context, our main character is Zuzu.
Yeah.
Even though Zuzu means Belle.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to say that straight
Let's not forget, you add in the extra E, it means beautiful.
It means beautiful in French. And so, which was a nice tie-in.
There was one point I got really confused on because I saw a couple times it's spelled with the extra E. But was that her stage name, Belle, with the extra E for beautiful?
I think so. Because I know, like, when she had typed it in to the server for you, she just put BELL. So I think that was probably going to be like her stage name for like the concerts and everything that she did.
So we first get introduced to like her drop, like you drop yourself in the middle of a city and you don't know what the heck's going on. What's the first thing you do? You bust out singing.
Yep. But the good thing is that, like, because we have Zuzu, and Zuzu is more of like a timid, shy person. And, she likes to sing, but it's like she doesn't want to stand out due to an event that,
you just want to get into the trauma?
Oh, yeah. I'm going into the backstory and then just going back and forth. But yeah, because this is the backstory of Zuzu, which is basically the context that we need, to show. Which is basically her mom was trying to save this little girl. I'm guessing it was in the middle of a storm.
It had to be a dang. It was a flash flood. Because otherwise, why would a little girl be on an island?
on that little island all on her own. And I was like, is no one else gonna help?
Well,
because like the first time through, I was like, "There's no one else gonna help," but then everyone else is like, "What can we do?"
I love to think like all the people on the side wasn't even worried about the rushing water. They're just like the water's too cold.
Yeah.
Because if you've ever been in like a creek, I don't know what time of year it was, but it looked cold.
Oh yeah.
That water had to be freezing.
I would say probably somewhere around like maybe winter.
I want to say fall.
Maybe fall. Yeah.
Fallish.
Mm-hmm.
Is where I would place my guess, because isn't that when like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's when like hurricanes, rains like that. Yeah. Or was that spring?
I think someone in the comments would probably correct us.
Yeah, people like these people don't know their. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think because like in all honesty, I think what the mother was trying to do was a good thing, because like she's trying to save this little girl. She did that, but at the cost of her own life. Right. I mean, but like, it's not the fact of, oh, why did when Zuzu's sitting there like writing stuff down, she's like, why did my mom choose to save her over spending her life with me?
Right.
Like,
I think she got a lot of that from the comments the people were making, because they were like, why would she save someone else's kid and leave her own all alone?
And then they're like, well, this is what you get for trying to be a hero. And I'm like, what would you have done?
I love the parody of when it goes from the beginning, from being a hero from her mom's aspect, and then her dad supporting her when she goes at the very end, to save the little boy. As like, I thought that was a good parody between her and her mom.
Oh yeah, and it was also a good way for even the dad to actually talk to Zuzu, because throughout most of the film, you see that the dad's always trying to communicate with Zuzu, being like, "Hey, are you all right? Do you still want to eat?"
For context, Zuzu is like majorly traumatized by her mom sacrificing her life. She ends up getting like bullied at school.
Yeah, she got bullied at school, and then it got to the point where like now she's afraid to sing, and it's just like,
I thought the scene, because going back to the choir members for my favorite moment, they were singing, and I think it was the old elementary school. Yeah. And they were singing. She's just there hiding under the chimes.
Yep. And then they're just like, you need to get out here. And she's like, I'm not. I'm just going to be a cricket. And I'm like, what?
Even crickets can be loud.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You heard those things, dang. But, going back, the next scene after the singing, we get the backstory. We get more of her school life.
Oh yeah, because and the thing is that like with her school life compared to being in the world of you, is like it's drastically different, and it's just like, because in the school life you're like, okay, this is school, you know all these people and everything, but then when you get into the world of you, it's like
there's no way to know who everyone is. Yeah.
And plus, everyone's being hiding underneath a mask and everything like that. And
because that's the entire point of you is like you can't start over.
Yeah, you can't start over in the real world, but you can start over in the world of you.
Right.
And it's just like it's interesting the fact that the way how the film director did this is that like by using the world of the internet to not, it's basically. By him using the world of the internet, it's like, oh, let me show how it can be good, how it can be useful. But you're showing the positive and the negative side of things. Right. And like when we get introduced to the what was it? It was like that one singer before Belle.
Right.
And everyone was like, oh, she's the best thing in Belle. And
that brings her,
she's the best thing in you.
Is that when they dragged her into like
into the karaoke bar?
They're like, she's really good.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, she's good.
And then like everyone was like, yeah, come on, sing. And then she just screams, and I was like,
I kind of feel like those are like fake friends.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go. She's a shut-in.
And then everyone just forces her into the
right. And then they like going from that, like her entire school life is like, you're a shut-in, I get it, but these people are like unnecessarily like kind of going out of their way to be like, I don't know the word.
It's basically like they're going out of their way to try and be friends with you, but it's like you don't actually
you don't actually care is
Yeah.
the thing.
It's like you know who I am, but then again you don't know who I am.
Right. So with her school, there was that scene where like, okay, we're now introducing the side characters.
Mm-hmm.
We introduced this one really good who's really good at, like, I think it's called a saxophone.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
you're right. You're right.
Okay, it's a saxophone. Someone's gonna be like, no, it's not. It's actually this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know instruments. But everyone's like, she's so pretty and everything like this and that. And then you get introduced to, I hope, is the man she's gonna marry.
Shinobu?
I don't care about this beast, man. That man was sexy. Good basketball player, and he's like a genuine good guy, although he's quiet like Belle.
Yeah.
Or like Zuzu.
Yeah.
He's like a genuinely good guy. He wanted to take care of her, things like that. It's rare you actually meet people like, especially in anime, they're just like decent people, like real life people.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that like you're able to be like, okay, this is a good guy. Right. And then we also got introduced to Hiro, who was Suzu's best friend. And you're just like, what the heck? There's like a huge difference here.
Right.
And whereas like Hiro's like, yo, I know all this stuff, I'm gonna let you be at the top of the list. And I was like, what is
I love her, but her thing with me was she kind of be like antagonizing in a way of like, she didn't want her to go out of her comfort zone to sing in real life. Yeah.
That's why
but
she was
that's
like,
what you needed the most was to sing in real life. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you have that, you know, facade of being like, okay, this is what we're gonna make you out to be, you know, so then you can get comfortable with that. And then it's trying to break that mold and then push you further out as your self, pretty much.
And then we get into her concert, which was like what, millions of people attending. Yeah. And I just love to think how if you had like a big concert and millions of people attending, if you just charge like $1, which isn't much for a regular person to attend, just $1, but millions of people attending, that's millions of dollars you made right there. And I love that fact. I was just thinking about that. It's like, damn, that's a big dome. Millions of people.
And the fact that like a lot of people were attending and then it just gets interrupted by one person.
The probably the most talked about man in you besides like actual Belle. He just comes barging in, and Yuzu's friend is just like, hey, get him out of here. Yeah. He shouldn't be here.
What is he doing here? Like, and the thing is that like it's the Beast, and it's just like that's how everyone knows him. It's just oh, it's the Beast. But then the interesting tie-in is the fact of, oh yeah, he has opponents that he's fought, and I'm like, wait a minute, this man's also boxing people left and right.
I love all the fact he's unnecessarily cruel to the point where it's like they destroys their data or something. Like you saw these men disintegrate into like little blocks.
They became like crystallized, and you're just like, what is happening?
He was like, be gone, you thought, just leave me alone. I just couldn't get over it. Why did he charge in is the question.
I'm trying to figure that part out too, because I'm like, where did you come from?
I think he was chased.
I think he might have been chased to the dome.
Right, he was trying to get away, and he saw the dome as like, there's plenty of people in there. If I had a chance to get away from these guys, it would be right there.
Yeah, and then turns out that, oh yeah, now he just ruined the concert, and it's like
everyone's like, you just ruined Belle's concert.
Yeah, and then part of me was like, if the concert went differently, what was she gonna sing?
Probably dance more on the whales, because those whales are like amazing. You just have a giant whale you stand on with like a bunch of speakers on it. That was really neat.
Oh yeah.
And it's done like a professional concert where she's like dancing around. It reminded me of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
When they were I don't know if you remember this, it was when the Chancellor was watching a show and Anakin comes in and he's talking to the Chancellor. And they were like diving into water, things like that. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that. Of like, it's a professional show like the Queen of England would literally go to. And I'm like, this is so dang interesting. Yeah. She's just standing there awestruck. I so thought when he pulled out the gauntlet.
Oh, Justin.
Gauntlet.
Justin and his fellow justices. Like, I'm gonna say this. So Belle is basically a loose adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, yeah. It's loose, but it's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't realize it until it like hits you really hard.
I think I didn't realize it until she entered into the castle.
Right. I was like,
because like at first when Justin shows up and he's like, oh well, time for me to unveil the beast, and I'm like, you see all those sponsors? I was like, wait a minute, are all those sponsors behind you? Because I'm just like,
and then she's just like, look at all those sponsors.
Yeah, I'm like, how? Who are you?
But when he pulled out that gauntlet and started shooting, I was like, the first thing I thought was like, the poor innocent people.
Yep.
Who like got shot by the stray shots, and I so thought he was gonna shoot Belle. I was like, wait a second, don't shoot Belle. Don't shoot Belle.
Because like he's just sitting there shooting, and then you just see the fact that Beast is just dodging all over, and I'm like, I get we're in a dome, but isn't that gonna ricochet and just like hit someone else?
I think it was the dome was like the entire seating, so there's people up above, there's people below. Down, so no matter where
someone's gonna get hit.
Yeah. And the entire point is like, you don't want to get hit by that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Beast just runs by Belle, and she's like, I think she said like,
she's like, who are you? And he's like, don't look at me. And I'm just like, how? How can I not look at you? You marched into my concert.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, the wardrobes.
Oh, yeah.
I keep on forgetting her name, but it's her friend.
Hero,
yeah. Hero. She did all the wardrobes, the concert. She was really smart with how she handled the money.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not being found if it's the last thing I do. So she just they didn't even care about money. They just
donated everything to charity.
Right. And like I said, that was millions of dollars potentially just donated to charity.
Mm-hmm.
Because U is ran by like, was it 4 or 5?
I think like 5?
5? What did they call it? The boys?
The voices?
It was something like that.
Yeah.
And it was demonstrated here that they genuine don't care.
Oh yeah.
Like they just kind of made it and gave it to the people. So you know they're not getting any of the profit from this, although it being their world.
Yeah.
The people are running it.
Yeah.
So it ultimately
it's almost like a Sims game.
Right. So ultimately, Belle would have gotten all of that revenue. And like I said, just $1 for entry, not much. Anyone can really just attend.
Yeah.
You just made millions of dollars right there.
Also, not to mention the fact that it was also probably going to be live streamed as well.
Right. Donations, that too.
Yeah.
There was a potential for a lot of money right there, and they didn't even care. There's like, just give it all to charity. And I was like, no wonder why you're so beautiful on the outside is because your personality on the inside is near perfect.
Yeah. Because I like how it doesn't just stay within the world of you. Because and I was trying to figure out the first time around, how does everything work? And I'm glad that like it specifies that like it syncs up the user's interface with the avatar. So it's like, oh, they can't have 2 separate ones.
So I found this out watching it the second time. With the user's interface, does it take a picture of you?
I think it takes a picture that you upload to it, and then it basically just constructs your avatar around that.
Because she didn't use her own picture.
She used the group picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean it used the entire group? Because she wasn't
I think because the thing is that when it looked, I'm pretty sure it found Zuzu, but then it also found Ruka too, and it was trying to figure out which one was actually Zuzu.
I like to think ultimately this was Zuzu.
Yeah.
Because it kind of not really distributed her looks, but more of what she looks like on the inside.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was like it scanned you and then it made an avatar based on what your inside is like. Which we see is avatars don't really reflect who you are on the outside at all. Because I remember seeing one that was like a hand.
Yeah.
There were some pretty strange ones in there. Then you had the Beast, which looks nothing like his actual person.
Yeah.
I like to think they're purely a concept of what's inside of you.
Yeah.
So after that, we get to the castle.
Oh yeah. We gotta also talk about the AIs for the castle too.
Okay, I was confused when they were going through trying to find like fighters of the Beast and all of that, and trying to find out information. You have the one, I think they called it a fairy, or was it an angel? The little things that showed up at the beginning. The little one
that had like the red heart or whatever. Yeah, that one was. I think that one was the angel.
The angel. I was confused for a second whether she was an AI or an actual person, because at the very beginning you get introduced to her like she's an actual person. She walks up like, "You're a great singer. You're beautiful," and then you get introduced to her as like, "Oh, she fought the beast." And she obviously didn't fight the beast. The beast was just like, "I'm not gonna fight," whatever it was. I was confused for a second whether she was an AI or a person, but I'm leaning towards she was an actual person who like sympathized with the beast.
Yeah. Well, because like, and the thing that I realized upon the second rewatch is that when you see the angel, and like when they're in the castle and it's starting to fly a little bit away,
right?
And then I listened closely and I realized that the angel is actually humming one of Belle's songs,
right?
And I was like, wait a minute, that's interesting. Because at first I was like, well, why is this angel here? What's the point? And then I'm sitting there trying to draw comparisons to Beauty and the Beast, and I was like, there was no angel in Beauty and the Beast.
Like I said, the Beauty and the Beast references were subtle.
Oh yeah,
I mean, besides like the name being Belle, it being called the Beast, the actual references from this movie to the other movie were incredibly subtle.
Because like the secret roses.
Yeah, I saw that the roses were beautiful.
And then I think the one thing that actually like tipped me off to the fact that, hey, this is like a representation of Beauty and the Beast, is when Belle walks in and you just see the stairway going up and it's all blue and everything. I was like, wait a minute, this is like Beauty and the Beast when our Belle walked in and saw everything like that. And then the other part that like actually made me jump for joy was the dancing scene, and I was like, oh,
so beautiful.
I was like, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh snap, this is the dancing scene from Beauty and the Beast.
And then she ends up making a whole song about him.
I like that, because like I even like how going back into the real world when she's with the choir members, and then they're like, "Oh, you're in love with the bad boy." I was like, "Yo!"
And then the one choir member's like, "Yeah, I fell in love with a bad boy back when I was she was an exchange student."
Yeah.
And she was like, "I fell in love with a bad boy back in my senior year."
And I was like, "What?"
She revealed it was an 8th grade. I was like,
sounds
about right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. She did the thing that they're telling her to do, which is make a song.
Yeah, and that was interesting, because they're just like, oh, they're like, oh, well, what did you do? She's like, I wrote him a love song. And I was like, that's interesting.
I think the premise of it is not Beauty and the Beast for this movie. It's more like on how music can really change a person.
Yeah.
Like music has stronger effects than anyone realizes.
It has like multiple different meanings to anyone who listens to it.
Right.
It's like, oh, like, because like there's times like if you and me listen to a song and it's like, oh yeah, like I could take it as, oh yeah, this is really upbeat and uplifting, whereas you would take it as something totally different.
Right. It's like beauty in the eye of the beholder, simple as that.
Yeah.
But when she wrote him that song and she's singing it to him, it was just so lovely.
One thing I realized on the second rewatch, I was like, because when Zuzu's going through her phone, right? Because she's like humming the song to herself, and then she's like, "Oh, I should record it." I didn't realize that Zuzu has an Apple phone. I didn't.
Wait, I'm just now realizing that when they actually like first pulled up in the first scene, they pull up like the phone and it's like actual Apple apps.
Yeah.
And I'm just now like, wait a second.
I didn't realize it until the second rewatch, and I was like, wait a minute. Because like she's like, oh yeah, I should record that.
She's a fan of Apple instead of Android.
So like as she's like scrolling through, I saw GarageBand on her phone. I was like, wait a minute, that's GarageBand. And then when she swiped again, and then I saw the logo app for photos, and I was like, that's an Apple phone.
Go with that, and she's like, I should record this. Checks her phone, starts swiping, and she's like, swipe back. It's like, what's with all these 200 messages? And the situation is like, you just held hands. Not even held hands, kind of like grabbed your hand. And it's like everyone's like freaking out. It's like, oh my god, did she ask him out? Did he ask her out? This and this. I'm like,
yeah, with Shinobu, who's basically her childhood friend.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, he would never do that. And I'm like, yeah, he would. What you talking about?
This is my ship here.
Exactly.
I don't care about Belle and the Beast. I care about Shinobu and Zuzu.
Yeah.
That's the one I care about.
Yeah. I'm just like, and then like, I just like how it showed everything in it as if it was like an actual war.
Right.
And it was like,
it was like a video game where like you would actually download this app.
Yep. And it's just like, oh, nope. And then she's like, everyone just chill. Goes and calms down half of the group. And then she's like, we didn't do anything. Everyone else just calms down like, oh yeah, we were overreacting. And I'm like, what?
That seems like a very simple game of checkers.
Yep.
You're just playing checkers with like a 5-year-old is like, I win. It's like, all right, you win.
So what?
Yeah. But can we talk about my pure ship?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kakai. I'm pulling up the names real quick.
Kamashi?
Yeah, Kamashi and the one really pretty girl. Ruka. Yeah. That's like, that was so adorable.
Oh yeah.
How she like texted her and it's like, I need help, this and that.
And that was interesting because I was like, oh, maybe Ruka does like Shinobu. But then it turns out that she actually likes Kamashi.
And Kamashi, the guy who's like really into
kayaking.
Kayaking. And I remember the scene at the very beginning. He's like, do you want to join the kayaking club? And I'm like, I love this dude.
I'm just like, it was just cool. Cause then like when Zuzu goes and she's like watching Kamashi as like, he's finishing up his laps.
Right.
And she's like, oh, he's really committed. And then when Shinobu comes, and then like, Shinobu comes over, he was like, yeah, I'm just waiting, just waiting for him to finish up. And then she's like, oh, you made it to nationals. I'm rooting for you. And I love how his interpretation of I'm rooting for you means I have a crush on you. And I'm like,
and then that exact same line is used later, and it's actually the truth.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is so freaking adorable how she's
just blushing. And I just like how you just have Zuzu in the middle. And
he's
Zuzu just points. She goes, yeah.
He's like,
and he just slowly backs out, and I'm like, "What are you doing,
dude? Grow a pair. This girl loves you."
And then it's just funny because, like, as he walks away, I'm just like, I hope Ruka doesn't didn't raise their head and be like, "Oh snap, he's gone."
It's like peekaboo. Oh,
he's gone. And it's just like I liked how Zuzu went out, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then he's like, "I've never had someone confess to me before." I'm like, all right, this is what you say. And then he just goes, so what kind of stuff are you into? I'm like, you didn't even follow the plan.
No, but they actually turned like a really good conversation, like really quick. And it's like, what do you like? I like Belle.
Yep.
I like Belle too.
And then they just hit it off from there. And I was like, okay, smart.
Yeah. And then you have Zuzu in the background, like, they're talking about Belle.
And then she's like, I'ma just head out.
Right.
And I think the one thing that...
Is that when they realized that they're having more problems with the Beast?
Because they were having more problems with the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was interesting because after that whole interaction, when Zuzu is leaving, and I'm like, all right, because Zuzu's like, how can we, save the Beast? How can we, figure out who he truly is? And then you just have Shinobu on the other side of the street, and he's just like, hey, you're Belle, ain't you? I'm like, how do you know?
Like, really, out of everyone, I would expect him to figure out before the choir members, because you do kind of get a voice thing in there. Where you can recognize the voice. But if you've ever listened to a person's voice without seeing their face, you really can't pin down their voice unless they're really unique.
Yeah.
But, like, I listen to music singers, you listen to one music singer and you listen to another, and it's like, is that the same music singer? Because not only when a person sings, their voice is incredibly different.
Oh yeah.
Because they're straining their voice cords to make these beautiful sounds.
Yeah.
And from their regular voice, and you would never recognize them. But I guess you can kind of pick up on the little hints and details.
Yeah. Because, like, even I listen to, sometimes I listen to American artists, or sometimes I listen to Japanese artists.
Right.
And it's like, I'm starting now to listen to more Japanese artists than anything else.
Yeah, I did that at work. I was just, okay, there's two versions of me at work. Either I'm listening to intros to animes,
Same.
or I'm listening to country music. But I'm finding myself lately, it's like this intro is really good.
Yeah.
And I find myself more intros are really good. And I'm that guy who doesn't watch the intro at the very beginning. I'll watch the intro at the very beginning of the anime, and I'll watch it at the very end because I typically binge watch and I have little time, so I just need every minute kind of counts.
Yeah. See, for me, I get we're going on a tangent here,
right?
But like, for me, I'm the type of person who usually watches all the intros due to the fact that if I like the song, I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Oh, I'm that too. If I really love, like the intro really hits me, I'm like, I will listen to this.
It gets to a point where I put it on a playlist.
See, again, songs is really are important, especially the view of this movie is just all the songs. And you actually I don't think you actually got a full blown song. But
I don't think you did. I think it was like you get like bits and pieces of them.
Like I was listening to Spotify, and somehow it came across Belle into my Spotify, and they kind of like put more in there, and I immediately was like, "This is from Belle. I liked it."
Yeah.
And I put it on my favorites, and I actually sometimes go back and listen to it again when I'm in the mood. It was a really dang good song.
Because like I think like the first song was Gales of Song, and when I listened to that, I listened to the entire song. I think it was probably like a couple of days ago.
Right.
And I was like, I listened to it, and I realized when it stopped, and I was like, huh. And then it kept going. I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
I was like, we didn't get to listen to the whole thing.
Right. You only get like half and bits of a song, but otherwise, it's
still like
you don't need the entire song. You get the meaning behind it just from the first half.
Yeah.
Going from that, we get into her going back into you and everyone like swarming her. It's like, Belle's back. Belle's back. Yep. And then it's like, dude, just kind of leave her the heck alone. Like you got like hundreds of people like crunched up. You're like,
because
remember
that was like after, you know, when the concert was, you know, postponed and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be a one-time thing. Like, and everyone's like making rumors like, oh, we're never gonna see Belle again.
We didn't talk about how they destroyed the Beast's castle.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
That okay. When it came to that, I'm gonna be making references to Disney's Beauty and the Beast the entire time. But when it came to when Justin was like, oh, we'll just burn down the man, we'll just burn the place down.
I feel bad for like the little NPCs laying on the ground. And I'm like, oh no, poor things.
Like,
he was like, this is justice. You're getting like One Piece vibes. This is my justice.
It's just like, you know, I was like, that's kind of messed up. But then I was like, no, I'm going to take us back a little bit. Because it was because Justin sat there and tried to quote unquote, interview.
It was more like an interrogation.
And he's
like threatening her. It's like, everyone wants to know who the real Belle is.
Yeah,
he
was like, dude, shut the heck up. I'm like, I ain't gonna tell you because you ain't gonna know. And then she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you anyway. I was like, good on you.
Did the NPCs come in clutch right there? They just appear seemingly out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then they take Belle, and then she leaves behind one of the rose petals. And it's like something with the code of the rose petal help them find the actual castle.
Yeah.
And then they just go in and storm the place.
Yeah, when they stormed the castle, I was like, okay, this is what solidified me knowing that, okay, Justin is basically Gaston, Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, all right.
I was about to sing Gaston's song for a second.
Nah.
No one.
But it's just like
been like Gaston.
It's just like the fact that, like, you know, he is basically the Gaston of this world,
right? With all of his sponsors, kind of like all the people supporting Gaston.
Yeah, and then like going into Beast's castle and then like trying to burn it down. And I was like, all right, you're just gonna storm the castle, and then when he burns everything down. Can
we just say one thing real quick? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you good.
I never watched the original Beauty and the Beast. I seen the live action.
Yeah, the one with
like a while ago.
Yeah.
And I've only because growing up, it's like you learn things you don't even watch the movie. So I went and watched the original Beauty and the Beast, and it was a banger.
Oh yeah.
it was really good. And I'm like, I'm drawing more connections to Belle because I watched Belle, watched the original Beauty and the Beast, and I went back and watched Belle again. And I'm like, this is so like it's incredible on how they did it. Like I said, it's subtle.
Yeah,
it's subtle. But they pulled the Gaston. It's like, I'm gonna storm the castle, kill the beast, and they riled up the people. And it's just like, then also you had the little kid supporting the beast. I was like, that was good. I love the little kid. He was like, the grown-ups are just bullying the beast.
Yeah. And then, like, I just like how everyone was like, oh, yeah, you know, we like the beast, we need to protect him. And then you just have all the grown-ups being like, look at these losers. And I was like,
their view counts are in the single digits.
I was like, that's mean. Stop.
Then when she actually goes back in after they destroyed the castle, not to mention, they tracked down the beast's real-life brother. Yeah. They tracked him down, and I was like, this is really interesting how they tracked him down. Because like he's singing the song that only one person has heard.
And the thing is that like, and that was the song that because in the castle, remember how we were talking about the angel? The brother was the angel.
The brother's the angel? Wait a sec, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
When was that revealed?
It's not revealed. It's like something that I had picked up on the second go around. And it's like,
it makes so much sense. I was thinking it was just in the background or something when you heard the song.
No, because he's staring directly at the camera. Like when they zoom in, when Hero zooms in on his eyes, and Zuzu's like, "Oh, I know that song, because it's the song she sung."
Right.
And you see that it's Belle in his eye. And it's just like, and then I was like, wait a minute, going back to the castle, and you can hear the angel singing as he's like going up.
If you remember, I mentioned earlier, I didn't know whether that was an NPC or a real person. Yeah, that makes so much sense. It would also make sense why he was the only person to know where the castle was.
And then also the fact that like, you know, whenever Beast would go to the angel, it was like, oh, are we in trouble? Are we in trouble? And Beast was like, no, everything's gonna be fine.
Right.
And it gave it like more personality to.
And then he was like, hold on, everything's gonna be fine. He's like, I'll protect you or something. Yeah. Kind of like grabs him. Oh, that makes so much sense. And then he was like, I just have to endure this.
Right. And then I was like, oh snap! And then like when you actually see the real world interpretations of them, and then how that whole thing actually plays by, you know, the dad actually getting mad at, you know, Kai and his brother, and it's just like, oh snap! So this is what you meant by you have to endure this.
And then on that scene, people actually went in and recorded the scene, like adults making fun of it. These two children who were getting, I didn't see any hitting, but I think there was a cutaway, then a back, and they're like all shocked. Yeah. So I think there was hitting, but these two kids, at the very least, are being verbally abused by their father. Yeah. And they just make fun of it. And then he's like, are you going to do it too to Yuzu? Yeah. And then he's like, we can help you. And it's like, I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. I don't even believe that you're Belle.
He's like,
and then she actually goes in and has,
because I like
justice.
I like when he's like, you know, when he's expressing that anger. He's like, you know, I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. Everyone says that. Right. They're like, oh, we've talked to your dad. We've gave your dad some advice. Maybe that might help. And it does little to nothing. Right. But then I like how everyone who was with Zuzu was like, okay, I like how Shinobu was like, okay, look, he has no clue who you are. This is the real you. You aren't Belle. You are Zuzu. Right. And he's like, you need to get through to him being Zuzu, not Belle, being yourself. And then as you were saying, like when she went back into you to go and find Justin to, you know,
Well, Justin kind of came to
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
He's like, sing. Why aren't you singing? And she like grabs it and like makes her unveil herself.
Yeah.
And then you have the one guy. I love the scene. You have the one guy in the background. It's like, who would do that to Belle? Or he's like, didn't you hear? She did it to herself.
Like,
and she's there and she's kind of like crying.
Yeah. And it's just like, that was like the heartbreaking scene.
Yeah,
was
that
like seeing the fact of, oh snap, you actually unveiled yourself.
Right. I remember I told you at the very beginning there is a scene that made me cry.
Yeah.
And
I remember I remember you said that you were crying, and then I had watched it, and I was like, I can see why Chris had cried at this.
Right. I was like, you didn't cry at that? Actually, I cried when she was singing, where she goes, la, la, la.
Yeah. When she starts singing, like, I'm not gonna lie, I did get choked up, but I was trying to fight back the tears. I'm like, fight back the tears.
Prove Chris wrong. Prove Chris wrong over here. I'm not gonna cry. Prove I'm the stronger man. I ain't gonna cry to this. But yeah, that part.
That was a really good part. Also, that moment of just her singing by herself, and like, remember how we said in the beginning how like everyone was all supportive.
What really got me is the original singer we were introduced at the very beginning was like, sing, Belle, sing. And she was like, you're just a regular person like me. You're not no hot celebrity or any of this. You're just a regular person.
Yeah.
And she became from this, like, not the antagonist, but kind of like an annoyance to like a really supportive character. Because you think she on the inside is also just a regular person who just loves to sing. Yeah.
And it's just like, it was interesting to not only see that like the choir members were there.
Right. Can I just say the choir members' avatar I absolutely loved. I thought there were some of the most beautiful avatars in the game. And then you also have the one girl who plays the saxophone. I loved her avatar because it was like an Indian look, and she had like an avatar, and she went with the saxophone.
Yeah, with the saxophone. I was like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
And I liked that, but then like when you actually start to see like the glow, like, you know how like all of them have like the yellow glow.
Yeah.
And I just like how you just see it just start spanning across.
Kind of like kind of like how you do the waves, kind of like that.
And it was just like a sea of people, and then you just have Zuzu just floating above.
You know what I also really love? When she started singing, pictures of her were in the background of her as Belle and her as Yuzu, saying like, "This is me. I am both of them. I am now putting myself out there." Yeah. And that was just so beautiful. Then she starts crying, remembering her mom and things like that.
And it was good. I liked it. I also think that's also a good moment to take a screenshot. Like, you can easily just take that moment as a screenshot and just have it as like a wallpaper or a poster.
Okay, pause right now. I'm gonna go do that kind of thing. But can I just say that was incredibly beautiful? But when the song's over and you like really feel the hit, my boy, the whale, comes up out of nowhere. Just like the people are flying everywhere because you see the lights and the whale just pops up, and then she gets on the whale. That was like,
and then like she was able to regain the fact of being Belle again.
One thing I had a little bit of a nitpick is right when she got onto the whale and she became Belle again, she was singing like normal. I was really hoping she would overcome it a little more. I get it takes a little time, but I would think she'd be a little more choked up, even still being Belle, but she started singing like she usually does.
I think it was because like when she got back, like she started to feel a little bit more comfortable singing, and then it went back to her being in Belle, and then she's like, all right, I feel more comfortable now that, you know, I'm still Zuzu, but I'm still Belle, but like I feel more comfortable being Belle.
Right. It's gonna take a little more time than just a couple minutes in a song. Yeah. And then we immediately cut back to the real world. And then we go back to the same screen that it was before.
Because remember, they had disconnected. Right. And then they had reconnected. And I liked how everyone was like trying to be like, okay, look, here's our address.
I think
and
there's
then,
like a little like error has occurred.
Yeah.
And there's like a little loading screen.
And I just liked how, like, when they reconnected, they're like, okay, look, here's our address. And then the address gets cut out. And I was like, no. And then I just like how everyone was like, oh, it's here. It's and everyone just
I love how like
together.
we're gonna put all of our collective brain cells together to figure out those are the chimes, there's the windows, there's the place. It was at this time, and I'm like, all of y'all really smart.
I know, right?
No wonder y'all like figured. No wonder why most of you figured out this is Belle because all of you guys are pretty dang smart.
And then I like the fact of like, Zuzu was like, okay, I have to go to them. And then they're like, as soon as she runs out, two of the choir members run out.
We'll drive you.
And they're just like, yeah, we got you. And then like, they're sitting there driving. They're like, there's no more flights. And then they're like, driving is going to take too long. And then I was like, well, what's the other option? Train.
The train, yeah. I was like, why didn't the choir members get on train?
I think because they wanted to leave it up to Zuzu.
I get that, but coming from
that,
parentals,
yeah,
like you would
I would at least
want
have
an
one
adult
of them
to go to the train because you're gonna see like I think she said she was 16.
I think 16, yeah.
It was 16 or 4. I know the boy who was the beast was 14. I'm pretty sure because it was saying he was 14. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think she was 16, and I may be wrong. But you're still going to leave a 16-year-old on a train to go to a big city to search for a boy in probably some high-rise apartments.
Well, not only that, she did take the bus, too. We got to also remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
But just personally, I would have like put in an adult.
Yeah.
But I get movie-wise, it was very cinematic when they actually find
when they find Kai.
Yeah.
I can't remember his brother's name.
Right.
No, Kai and Tomo.
They
Kai
find
and
Tomo.
Yeah.
And he's like, Belle?
Yeah, he just looks
Belle?
like Belle. I was like, okay, we found one. Where's the other?
And then he just shows up around the corner and is like, it's you, actually. And then, out of seemingly nowhere, the father. Boys, like, I'm not done talking to y'all.
He just came out and then like, I just like the fact that Zuzu was there to protect them. And he was like, why are you here trying to tear my family apart? I'm like,
then actually the scene where
when he like tries to take Zuzu, off of them, and then just ends up marking her, and I was like, wow,
exactly. That was like a shocker. I was like, we didn't get to see you hit these children, but we just saw you scratch this young girl. Like, you need some help, bro.
And then the fact of like when she turned around and she's like, standing in between them, and like you see that the dad was about to straight up hit Zuzu.
Right.
And I was like,
this dude's not going like hitting a child.
Yeah. And then like you could tell like he just screamed, just let out all that anger, and then he just hit the ground and just started scurrying. Like I was like, are you afraid now? You afraid? But I like how Zuzu actually got to talk to her dad.
Right.
And even when she got back home and she's like, hey, I'm home. And then he's like, welcome home. And I just like the fact of, he's like, so, I can make this for dinner. And she's like, yeah, I would like it. Finally!
Right.
And then I just like how you just see everybody else in the background there, like, we did it! And I was like, yup.
We did it. Yay! But that was kind of like the moment was like, this is a good movie. It was seriously good.
Oh, yeah.
The intro, I love the intro.
Yeah.
They had me in the middle. They introduced me to interesting characters. And then the ending was so satisfying. You saved the child. I'm assuming she gets the man.
I would hope so.
I mean, like, these two were made for each other. Like, yes, I love, like, I get that shit, but like I told you my shit.
Yeah.
Like, those two are my pure shit. Kamashi and
No. I think you're talking about Shinobu and Zuzu.
No, Kamashi.
Oh, you're talking about Kamashi.
Kamashi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my shit because they were just so adorable.
Oh, yeah.
But apologies, it's a movie, so it may be a little longer than most of your other episodes. but it's a movie, so it takes a
It
little
takes
bit.
a little bit longer.
Yeah, but
But,
I think we hit all the key. Like
Yeah.
you may have missed minor details, you may have missed a scene or two,
Mhm.
but it was a really good movie that deserved possibly a little more time.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Chris, thanks for coming on.
No problem. I will be happy to join if you ever take any of my suggestions again.
I'll keep that in mind. Guys, first like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if you've seen Belle. What are your thoughts on it? Let us know if we missed anything. And hope you guys have a nice rest of the day.
Also, one thing.
Yeah.
Can we get more? We want Chris in the comments. Because if y'all actually like me, I would love to show up more. It's my first time being on camera. I was happy to be here to support my friend Wesley. He's told me about his podcast. I was like, Wesley, I don't know how I do, but I would definitely want to try. So if y'all like me, I hope you do. It was great being here with y'all.
Thanks.
No problem.
Well, that's going to do it for us. I'm Wesley.
I'm Chris.
And we hope you've enjoyed listening to the Underground Geek Shack. See you guys.